Hello, tabletop sports, and fans of mine. This is Tribe Fan here. Uh, Wishing everybody a happy new year as this is December 31st when this is being uploaded. Just wanted to go over a couple things that have been going on. First of all, yes, I did start my 2016 Twins replay, but there was a little thing I did in between. I decided to play Memorial Games, which is just picking a day of the season of Stratomatic that I have. I did this for 5 players, and then I also did a Roberto Clemente celebration game. The first game I played was for Davey Nelson. We took his game from July 15th, 1971, when the White Sox played the Senators, Wilbur Wood versus Dick Bosman. Nelson did go 1 for 4 in this game, but he was not a factor. But Rick Reichert was for the White Sox. He went 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. The White Sox won 7-3. My next game was for Gene Stick Michael, and I have both his 67 and 71 cards, but decided that his 71 card was a little bit better. So I replayed a game from April 24th, 1971, where they played the Minnesota Twins. The Yankees did get out to a 1-0 lead, but the Twins tied it in the fourth. And then probably the only game out of the ones that I played where the guy that I was memorializing had any direct input in the game. Michael hit a leadoff home run in the bottom of the fifth to put the Yankees ahead 2-1. They would win 5-1. So that took care of that game. And then this game was for Tito Francona. I told you that he's the father of Indians manager Terry Francona. In this game, he went 1 for 5. It was Rick Wise versus Dick Carroll. The Phillies would win 5-3 in this game, and like I said, Francona went 1 for 5. The Rusty Staub in Memoriam game, Staub went 1 for 4 with a run scored. However, Dick Ellis and the Reds were a little bit more powerful than the Astros. This game was from August 27th, 1967. The Reds won 8-6 in that game. And then the Willie McCovey game was from August 10th, 1967, when they took on the Cardinals. This was Mike McCormick against Rich Washburn. McCormick went the distance, only giving up 4 hits and striking out 2. The Giants used a big third inning, scoring 5 runs. McCovey in this game went 1 for 3 with 2 walks and scored 2 runs. And then finally, the Clemente celebration game. I used a game from 1971, June 23rd. Clemente went 1 for 4, and the Pirates scored 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth to win 3-2. Or win 3-2, sorry. And now we'll get to the main reason why we're here. Now, I think I said I was going to split this up by week, so I guess we'll call this the first April update. This takes care of the first 6 games of the season. All of them were on the road. The first 3 were in Baltimore, and the second 3 were in Kansas City. And the opening day was Irvin Santana against Chris Tillman. In the top of the third, with 2 outs, Miguel Sano hits one over the left field wall to put the Twins up 1-0. And then in the top of the fourth, back-to-back doubles by Byung-Ho Park and Eduardo Escobar puts the Twins up 2-0. Escobar would go to third on a deep fly ball to right field and score on a Byron Buxton ground out to make it 3-0. That would be about it for the scoring. Santana would go 8 innings. He only pitched to 26 batters, so I thought that as long as he was right around the minimum that we should leave him in. He only allowed 1 hit. The Orioles only got 2 hits total. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Tillman didn't pitch terribly. He went 7 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits, striking out 7. So he gets the loss, and then Kevin Jepson pitched the 9th for the save. All right, then we go to game 2, which was Kyle Gibson and Giovanni Gallardo. On the bottom half of the first, Manny Machado with a leadoff double, and then Adam Jones follows with a single to make it 1-0. However, this could have been a lot more. However, Jones was thrown out at the plate trying to make it 2-0, and that was the third out of the inning. In the top half of the third, 2-out rally by the Twins nets then some runs. Brian Dozier and Joe Mauer with singles put runners on first and third. And then Miguel Sano with an RBI single makes it 1-1. And then a two-base gaff by Mark Trumbo, really not known for his defense, makes it 2-1 Twins. And then the top of the sixth, TJ McFarland relieves Jimenez, who went 5 innings. Kurt Suzuki hits a solo home run to make it 3-1. And then you would have thought in the top of the eighth, when off of Vance Worley, Byron Buxton goes deep to make it 4-1, that this game was over. However, with Jepson pitching the first 2 games, he was unavailable, and Fernando Abad, or actually Michael Tonkin started the ninth, allowed back-to-back singles to Pedro Alvarez and J.J. Hardy. Abad then came in. Jonathan Scope then hit an RBI double to make it 4-2. Joey Rickard struck out for the first out, and then Machado and Jones walked. The Jones walk was with the bases loaded and forced in a run. And then he got Chris Davis to strike out for the second out. However, Mark Trumbo with a seeing eye single tied the game at 4, and we went to extra innings. The Twins loaded the bases in the 10th, but did not score. However, in the 12th, top of the 12th, with Dylan Bundy pitching, he walked 3 to load the bases. A little ground out by Rosario led Mauer to be forced out at home, but Byung Ho Park with a clean single puts the Twins up 5-4. Jepson pitches scoreless 12th to make him they had to put him in an emergency. Makes the Twins a winner 5-4. Trevor May pitched 2 innings prior in relief for the win, and then Bundy gets the loss. And then the final game in Baltimore is Phil Hughes versus Ubaldo Jimenez. In the bottom of the first, Nolan Reimold with a 1-out triple, and he scores on a Machado single to make it 1-0 Orioles. Over in the top of the third, the Twins would score. Dozier with a 1-out single. He stole second. Danny Santana walked. Mauer reaches on a Jimenez error to load the bases, and then Trevor Plouffe clears the bases with a triple to make it 3-1 Twins. In the top of the 7th, Buxton reaches on a 2-base error by the normally good outfielding Adam Jones. And then 2 batters later, Joe Mauer with an RBI double makes it 4-1, and that was all for Jimenez. He went 6 2/3, which actually is a good outing for him. On the bottom of the 8th, with Ryan Presley pitching, Reimold walked. He went to second when Davis walked. And then J.J. Hardy with an RBI double to make it 4-2. Things got a little interesting in the 9th. Trevor May came on. Caleb Joseph with a 1-out walk. And then Nolan Reimold with a 2-out triple made it 4-3 with Machado up, and the fans were on their feet. But Mighty Machado struck out for the final out. Hughes went 7 innings for the win. May got the save, and then Jimenez with the loss. All right, and then we move on to Game 4, and the Twins travel to Kauffman Stadium. It was Irvin Santana versus the late Yordano Ventura. On the top half of the third, Brian Dozier with a walk. Danny Santana with a single puts runners on first and third. Mauer with the fielder's choice. First and second. Sorry, not first and third. Mauer with the fielder's choice put runners on first and third. And then Miguel Sano hits one real far down the left field line. And then that makes it 3-0 with a 3-run homer. The Royals would add a run get their first run, in the bottom half of the third. Paulo Orlando with a leadoff single. He goes to second on a ground out. Mike Moustakas with a single puts runners on first and third. And then Orlando would score when Suzuki lets a ball go off his chest protector all the way to the backstop, and Orlando would score, making it 3-1. At the top of the fourth, though, the Twins get right back to scoring. Eduardo Escobar with a leadoff double. He goes to third on a ground out. And then Byron Buxton hits a ball to deep center field, not over the wall, caught, but that's enough to score Escobar, make it 4-1. Dozier was hit by a pitch. Santana singles put runners on first and second. They walked Mauer to load the bases, not intentionally. And then Miguel Sano with his 4th and 5th RBI of the day, the 2-run double. They tried to score Mauer thinking, what the heck? We're already up this far. But he gets thrown out the plate. But that puts the Twins up 6-1. On the bottom of the 4th, Alex Gordon with a 1-out double. And then he scores on when Salvador Perez singles to make it 6-2. Omar Infante doubled to put runners on 2nd and 3rd. And then an RBI ground out by Paulo Orlando made it 6-3. Sano would hit his 2nd home run of the day and his 6th RBI in the top of the 7th. On the bottom of the 8th, Kendrys Morales gave the fans a little something to be happy about with a solo home run. And then the top of the 9th, Trevor Plouffe with a home run made it 8-4, and that's your final for 4 wins in a row for the Twins. Santana went 6 innings, striking out 6, giving up 3 runs to go to 2-0 in the year. Ventura went 6 innings in the loss. And then we go to Game 5, and then I'm kind of glad I went and looked at the score sheet because this game had something happen that I've never had happen in a Stratomatic game, and I'll tell you when you want to start paying attention to my description. All right, in the top half of the first, Brian Dozier with a walk. He goes to 3rd on a Danny Santana single. And 2 batters later, Trevor Plouffe, improving on just his solo home run from the day prior, hits a 3-run homer to make it 3-0. The Royals strike back in the bottom half of the first. Alcides Escobar with a leadoff double. And then the wind must have been blowing out, or it must have been a nice clear day because Eric Hosmer also hits a home run to make it 3-2. And now you'll want to start paying attention to what I'm talking about. Eddie Rosario in the top of the 2nd with a leadoff double. He goes to 3rd on a Kurt Suzuki single. And then Brian Dozier hits a deep enough fly ball to score Rosario to make it 4-2. In the bottom half of the 3rd, unfortunately, Rosario made a gaffe to make a 2-base error. And then Lorenzo Cain with a 2-run homer ties the game at 4. However, Rosario would make up for his error, a leadoff single in the top of the 4th. He goes to 3rd on a Danny Santana single and scores on a Mauer single to put the Twins back ahead 5-4. Plouffe would also add an RBI single in the 4th, making it 6-4 Twins. In the top half of the 5th, Rosario with a 2-out solo home run makes it 7-4. And then in the top of the 7th, Osvaldo Arcia and Eduardo Escobar single. And then Eddie Rosario with the 2-run triple. And if you've been paying attention, Rosario had the leadoff double in the 2nd. You have the leadoff single in the 4th. The solo 2-out home run in the top of the 5th. And so that triple in the 7th inning completes the cycle. Trust me, I did not know about this when I was playing this. I didn't realize this until I was looking over the box score to write up this write-up, and I'm kind of glad I did. It's the first time I've ever had a cycle, so I guess now that's all that's left for me is like a 4-home run game or a no-hitter or a perfect game. That made it 9-4. Rosario scored on a sacrifice fly by Kurt Suzuki to make it 10-4. Twins would add 2 runs. The Royals would add 2 runs. The Twins would add another to make it 11-6. Both pitchers did not pitch well. Malone gave up 5 runs over 7 innings. Got the win. Ian Kennedy, the starter for the Royals, was pulled after 4 innings when he gave up 6 runs. And then finally, the last game of this series and the final of the week, Ricky Nolasco against Edinson Volquez. This was all Twins, although very low scoring. Eduardo Nunez with a leadoff single. He goes to 3rd on a Byron Buxton single, and he scores on a Brian Dozier single to make it 1-0. And then Eddie Rosario, Rosario with a leadoff single. He goes to 2nd on a Sano, and he scores on a Escobar single to make it 2-0. And then Escobar would have another RBI. Rosario with his 3rd hit of the day, a leadoff single in the 7th. And then Escobar with a single made it 3-0, and that's the final. Ricky Nolasco goes 8 innings for the win. Jepson pitch the ninth for the save. All right, everybody. Wishing everybody a healthy and happy 2019. And whatever game you are playing, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.